Before I give my take on what took place June 5th at the Craig Ranch in McKinney, Texas, let's give a quick outline on what's been reported. Now, on June 5th, there was a pool party in this neighborhood that was organized by a 14-year-old, in which you were supposed to invite only 2 guests at this pool party. I'm slowing it down like this just so people can follow where I'm leading up to my thoughts on it. So this was sent out on social media for as this pool party that took place June 5th. Now, folks that didn't live in the neighborhood, or basically let's put it like this, the tweet went so freaking viral that folks that didn't live in the neighborhood showed up in massive mode. Like, how can I put this? If I invite somebody to a party and told them that they can bring a couple people, and instead of bringing a couple people, they brought like 20, 40, 50 people, that's a problem. So let's fast forward. So this takes place, and what happens is, instead of having 2 guests per person that was attending the pool party, it blew up to, I hear it was like over 100 people that didn't live in the neighborhood. That was reported initially. Now, you got folks that say most of the people that were at the pool party lived in the neighborhood. Okay, so why did the report say that a lot of them were trying to climb over the fence? That's what we report. Now, let's get to the residents that live in Craig Ranch, that decide that they didn't want massive teenagers, let's put it like this, massive black teenagers, or folks that didn't live in the neighborhood, teenage kids that didn't live in the neighborhood at this pool party in their neighborhood, where they're paying either, and I don't know the situation in Craig Ranch, whether you're paying rent or you're paying a mortgage, but that's just, you're paying money to live there. So you got residents there going back and forth with teenagers, throwing out racial slurs, and eventually a fight breaks out. Residents there call the cops. The cop in question, who escalated the whole thing to something bigger than what it is, what is now being reported that he dealt with 2 suicides early in the day. A guy shooting himself in the head, another one trying to jump off the roof. Now, this is where I put my take on the whole situation. Me personally, whether you want to hear this, you choose to hear this, choose not to hear it, my take, everybody involved is wrong. It's wrong. The organizer, the residents that got into it with the kids, the cop, even the police chief, everybody involved is wrong. Now, what make me say everybody involved is wrong? The organizer sending out a tweet which caught fire should have known that certain folks that you invited, let's put it this way, certain folks were going to show up at the pool party which you didn't invite, or the person that you invited didn't invite. Period. That's number one. Number two, going back and forth with adults, regardless of what she was saying, regardless of what they were saying to you, at that point, get your mother, get your parents, get whoever you need to go out there and go back and forth verbally with the residents, the white woman that were throwing out racial slurs. See, in my day, there's this saying that a child needs to stay in a child's place. If that was me back in the day, going back and forth with any adult, whether they were right or wrong, and my mother was up the block, my mother would have handled it, and then when I got home, she would have smacked me for talking back, or talking smack, period, to an adult. See, that's the problem. You got parents out here that's not preparing their kids. That's not preparing their kids to deal with racist white people, law enforcement. Oh, but let's get to the cop, though. Let's get to the cop. He's wrong, because the simple fact is, you, after dealing with 2 suicides early in the day, you should have just called it a day. You and the freaking police chief should have called it a day. You can't deal with back-to-back suicides and think you can go handle a situation like an altercation between an adult and a teenager. Let alone, okay, you pull out a gun. You made the situation worse. Yeah, your blind side, you thought maybe your blind side was being attacked. You shouldn't have been there. Another cop should have responded to that situation. And I don't know what this code is of, if you're in the area and you don't respond, that it makes you look like a punk. Well, I would have been a punk that day. I would have been a punk that day. Sorry. Dealing with 2 suicides. Everybody ain't built strong like that, even if you're a cop. So that's where he's wrong, because the simple fact is, he's apologetic. That's not his character, according to the police chief. Police chief said, "Oh, he took it beyond. He took it beyond what he was supposed to, basically. Putting his knee in the back of the 14-year-old girl. That was just stupid. But you got black folks talking about, oh, kids will be kids. Bullshit. Cause you know damn well back in the day, same folks that's talking that shit now, back in your era, same era as me, talking them back to an adult most likely got you fucked up, even if they were wrong. You like the adults verbally talk it out or argue it out, or whatever the case may be. Child stay in the child place. And that's the problem. You got a lot of black parents today not telling the kids, teenagers for that matter, stay in the child place. Period. But here's a question for you. All the black folks that's talking about, oh, it's a race issue. Oh, let's get to the father of the 14-year-old before I forget. The father of the 14-year-old that decided to get on social media talking about, oh, this is about race. You's a bitch ass nigga. That's right. You's a bitch ass nigga. How you getting on social media talking about it's about race when, number one, you got a DJ that lives in the neighborhood that said it wasn't about race. You got a teenager that went on CNN and said it wasn't about race. And now you're threatening his life because he don't agree with you motherfuckers. Explain that. Explain that. It's real simple. It's not about race. It's about the fact that a cop dealt with 2 suicides prior to responding to that 911 call, who shouldn't have been there in the fucking first place. Period. Should have never been there. Should have never been there at all. So maybe the police department in that area needs to review certain situations. If you got a cop dealing with back-to-back suicides, you need to take him off duty and evaluate him before he continues his shift. His shift or his job, period. Maybe he needed a leave of absence after dealing with those back-to-back. But now, he resigns. He still gets his benefits and his pension. So black folks, guess what? Anything you think is gonna happen, even though he's in hiding, it ain't gonna happen. He's sitting wherever he's sitting in hiding, and he's gonna get his pension and continue to see his benefits. So who wins? It's not us. Not black folks. You don't win. Not this. Not at all. Lose another battle. And if you think we won this battle because he's in hiding, he done stepped down and fear his life, come again. Cause that is not what's happening here. Period. So, getting to my other point before I wrap this video up. If white folks that work in law enforcement are so evil or so race driven or so quick to get out here and fuck us up, right? Why aren't our kids being prepared to handle ourselves in situations like this? This ain't the 60s. This ain't the civil rights movement where you got law enforcement that's out here beating motherfuckers up. I mean, the day that shit goes down just because, that's a problem. But then again, maybe not. Because in a couple of weeks, nobody's talking about this story. In a couple of weeks, nobody's talking about this story. I guarantee you that. Nobody's talking about this story in a couple of weeks. Just like nobody's talking about Baltimore. Just like nobody's talking about Ferguson right now. Black lives matter. All lives should matter at the end of the day. Period. At the end of the day, everybody's wrong. No matter at what point. When this whole thing started, till the end, somebody wrongfully did something they weren't supposed to do. Period. But no one would say that. Kids will be kids. No. You can't just show up somewhere where you weren't invited, and then when you can't get in, you want to do what the fuck you want to do as far as trying to get in, and think the people that live there are not gonna do anything. That's not how that works. I think the cops need to be better trained, but his blind side was being attacked. Oh, he thought it was being attacked. But once he realized it wasn't being attacked, he should have put the gun away. But most black folks are not going to see it my way because they think it's about this. The story was never about that. It was never about that, period. Alright though, I'm done talking. Leave your comments in this section. I know they're not going to be pretty, but it is what it is. Logically, everybody's wrong, including the organizer. Because it should have just been amongst the people that were invited and the supposedly 2 guests. Period. Like I said though, leave the comments. Till the next video.